YouTubers to my WWE vlog. I am Daniel Parkin and I'm coming at you today with my Raw review. Now, as we all know, first the opening promo of this Raw, we had Vince McMahon come out to address the WWE Universe. And what did he have to say? That there would be a guest host for WrestleMania, which sounds good, it's all good, but that's all he had to say. Apart from the fact that WrestleMania was bigger than the Super Bowl, of course, but he's the owner of WWE. But I thought he'd be on TV for a bit longer than that. I expected him to be on TV, in a decent promo, but he just announced something that he could have just announced next week. He said that there was going to be an announcement. He said he was going to announce who it was next week, so why didn't he just come on next week for his big return and announce it, rather than say that he's going to announce it next week? I don't get the logic there. But anyway, that's that. Vince McMahon should have been on TV for a bit longer, but that's just me. I was really looking forward to Vince coming back to WWE TV. But there you go. He's going to be there next week, so good on us. Then we hear Randy Orton's music hit, and he comes out to address, I'm guessing, to address CM Punk and Nexus on why they cost him the title at Royal Rumble. And CM Punk gives his explanation. Wait for it. It was because Orton attacked him at Unforgiven in 2008 when he was the champ, meaning that he had to forfeit his title. So CM Punk really knows how to bear a grudge. So yeah, we get all that crap, something ridiculous that's trying to fuel this rivalry between them both now. Obviously the Nexus come in and proceed to beat on Orton. Orton actually does a good job of keeping Nexus away. He even manages to make CM Punk's nose bleed. Ha ha ha. But yeah, no blood in PG. No blood. No blood. But yeah, they beat on Orton. Of course, 4-on-1, and then CM Punk GTS's Orton and knocks him out, and so taking him out. So yeah, opening segment, we get to see Vince and Nexus and Randy Orton. So at least it wasn't Miz or Alberto Del Rio this time. That's all I can thank the WWE for. So yeah, so we know now CM Punk can really bear a grudge, so never get on his bad side. Then we see the Raw GM announces that he was going to get rid of this Nexus gang mentality and have them in one-on-one matches with members of the Elimination Chamber. That's smart, Raw GM. Just let the Nexus attack everyone in the Elimination Chamber. If you really don't want that main event, just cancel it. I'm just saying. But yeah. So we have that announcement, and we have the announcement that the main event will be John Cena versus CM Punk, which, I like to see. Two good wrestlers wrestling in a main event, It's better than a champion versus champion match, that's all I can say. At least there's some rivalry there. So yeah, so straight up we have Mason Ryan versus R-Truth. Now, as soon as I see Mason Ryan, I'm thinking, God, I'm actually looking forward to seeing him wrestle. We haven't seen him wrestle yet. We've just seen him in, beatdowns. So to see him wrestle is actually a good thing. And he comes out to R-Truth, who immediately botches his city naming. He says, "What's up, Green Bay?" Whatever, and then, he's in Milwaukee. So, the crowd don't really get on his good side there. He messes that one up. And yeah, so we have the match. Mason Ryan immediately reminds me of Batista by botching the first move that they have in the match. Overall an okay match, but Mason Ryan obviously goes after R-Truth and injures him and gets him in that over the neck crab leg lock thing and body slams him with his leg going on the ropes and basically just tries to injure Truth's leg, and Mason Ryan obviously gets the win by submission with his over the neck crab like move. I don't know what it's called. And CM Punk is backstage congratulating him on injuring R-Truth, because R-Truth was really going to pose a threat to CM Punk at the Elimination Chamber. Really had to take him out. I think CM Punk could have beat him fair and square, but there you go. That's CM Punk's mentality if he's trying to take out every member of the Elimination Chamber. Next up we have the Divas match, which, you must know by now that I'm not really a big fan of. It is a 6 Divas tag team match. Gail Kim, Eve Torres and Tamina. Tamina's wrestling. I can't believe it. Tamina is actually in a wrestling ring. Versus Melina and the Bella Twins, who are now turned heel. Does anyone actually care they turned heel? No, neither do I really. I didn't think so. So yeah, pretty. We also had Natalia on commentary, which is good. I like to see Natalia on commentary. So yeah, that match was bleh. But there you go. That's just a Divas match for you. Eve Torres picks up the win. We barely see Gail Kim or Tamina, which is pretty standard really for WWE. They don't really like to show Gail Kim or Tamina wrestling anymore. They just like to see them. They just want to show them in, like, you know, relationships, and I'd rather see them wrestle, if I'm honest. You know, they're there for a reason. They're paid to wrestle, not to act as girlfriends to wrestlers who aren't getting pushes anyway. So that was that match. Natalya commentating. She announces that she's going to have to invoke a rematch clause next week. So it's going to be Natalya versus Eve Torres for the women's title. She says that she's looking forward to it. You know, she's all happy, as Natalya always is. Looking forward to the match next week. Well, I'm not. She might be, but I'm not, for the Divas title. I hope Natalya wins, to be honest. I really want them to take it off Eve Torres. But anyway, I'm rambling on too much about Divas. I shouldn't do that. Next match, we have John Morrison versus Michael McGillicuddy, or I will call from now on Joe Hennig, because I'm fed up of calling him Michael McGillicuddy. It's such a ridiculous name. Match itself, as always, with John Morrison was okay. He manages to hit a clean Starship Pain, which is, you know, a start. For the last few weeks, his Starship Pains have been, you know, average at best. He's managed to hit them with his elbow or something, you know, which is defeats the whole point of a Starship Pain, to hit him with the back. During the match, Hennig tries to injure John Morrison by putting his arm in the steel steps, and John Morrison moves. You know, it's a smart move, John Morrison. Move your arm. Well done, son. You know, you don't see many wrestlers doing that anymore. John Morrison wins after the Starship Pain. As he's going up the ramp, CM Punk sprays him with some sort of aerosol can. You know, like he sprays him like a girl. Like, you know, what's he doing? And then he obviously kicks him to the head, and John Morrison's knocked out on the ramp, and the referees come out and attend to him, and all that. So that was interesting. Good, okay match. I wasn't sure what CM Punk was doing, but there you go. And then we have this segment, which we usually have at the beginning, between Miz, who comes out and says that, you know, he said he's going to congratulate Jerry Lawler, which is bullshit, really. We all knew that wasn't going to happen. He says he was rooting for Lawler in that Raw review match. I think we all secretly know that was because he wanted an easy match. But obviously he doesn't think that way, because he thinks every match is easy. Maybe you can get a clean win, you dickhead. Maybe matches will be easier then. He says they're alike, and that, well, which is stupid, they're not alike. The Miz is like 25 or something now, or 30, I don't know. Miz is like 60, Jerry Lawler's 60. Also he says that he's a cheap shot artist. You know, the segment goes on with Miz talking shit after shit after shit after shit out of his mouth, until Lawler finally knocks some sense into him and knocks some shit into his mouth, in the form of a punch, which we only see Jerry Lawler, which is the only move we ever see Jerry Lawler doing anymore. So yeah, there's, you know, Jerry Lawler attacks the Miz, and Riley actually manages to beat the champion and his apprentice. Really great way showing your champ there, WWE. And then DiBiase comes out to attack Lawler, and then Daniel Bryan comes to make the save. You know, what do they have to do with it? I don't know. I don't know why they're getting involved. Last week. Oh yeah, of course, he punched him. Jerry Lawler punched DiBiase last week. That's why that happened. Silly me. But that leads, GM then leads that to a match. So it's the tag team match: The Miz and DiBiase versus Daniel Bryan and Jerry Lawler. The match itself, okay, again, good tag team match. Jerry Lawler wins with that top rope punch thing. You know, it was an okay match. There wasn't much, you know, in case you haven't known, I'm not a match analysis. You know, I'm all about opinions, so I don't really analyse the matches. So, but overall, good match. Jerry Lawler wins with his punch thing off the top rope. So yeah, good match. Jerry Lawler wins. Another push, another way to, you know, weaken the WWE champ, WWE. And then we have Sheamus walking to the ring for his match, and all of a sudden Josh Matthews comes up with a mic and says, what are your thoughts on what Mark Henry has said? Of course, Sheamus, like the rest of us, is thinking, what's Mark Henry said? Apparently he said he doesn't deserve to be in the chamber for the WWE title, #1 shot. And then he asks what his thoughts are, and Sheamus says, well, Mark Henry doesn't know anything. If it was a cake eating contest, it'd be more suited to it. Blah blah blah. Basically, just dissing Mark Henry. So, of course, as Atunga comes out in his Nexus hoodie, trying to look all cool and calm and collected, which we all know he is. The only reason he's doing that is because he knows he's not going to wrestle tonight because he sucks. Mark Henry comes out, beats on Sheamus, of course. You know, Mark Henry isn't the kind of guy that's going to take that kind of thing lightly. Hits 2 world's strongest slams on him. Sheamus is knocked out. Atunga comes into the ring and puts his foot on Sheamus and celebrates like he won the match himself. But he didn't, because he didn't even wrestle. You know, make Atunga wrestle, please. I want to see this guy wrestle and see how good he is. Let me judge him by his wrestling, not by, you know, his stupid Nexus antics that he's doing at the moment. So yeah, then we get the joke match of the night, in my opinion, which is Alberto Del Rio versus Santino Marella. Now, don't get me wrong, I like Santino, but you know, this was a real joke match. You know, Alberto does his usual promo shit stuff, and then Alberto interferes. Santino interferes, manages to chuck him over the top rope, which is ironic. He should have done that at the Rumble, really. And then we get the obvious Alberto Del Rio win when he applies his cross arm breaker thing. So yeah, joke match, but you know, it was another way to kill 5 minutes, I suppose, for Raw. Next we have Vicky Guerrero come out and do a SmackDown plugging stuff, saying that Dolph Ziggler is going to be the champion in Elimination Chamber. They advertised a match between them two with Vicky as the ref. You know, no one cares, it's SmackDown. Cena then comes out. I mean, he has got a match, he has every right to come out, and says he's going to put an end to this segment. He also apologises on the behalf of R-Truth. And the crowd seem to get behind him, so R-Truth's on their good sides again. You know, it's good for a face to be on the crowd's side. And then John Cena manages to get Dolph and Vicky leave the ring via this Milwaukee chant they do. I don't know what it was, but it was just kind of good seeing Vicky wanting respect and never getting it, because she is never going to get respect because she is Vicky Guerrero and her voice is annoying and all she says is, you know, shut the fuck up, Vicky. Just get out of the ring. You know, to be honest, I kind of wanted him to stay in the ring because the next match was bollocks as well. We had Cena versus Punk, which on paper you think, yeah, this would be a good match. You know, this would be a great match. We have CM Punk versus John Cena. Punk dominates the match until Cena backs CM Punk into a corner and the ref threatens to disqualify John Cena. John Cena, of course, low blows for CM Punk for some reason and doesn't seem to give a crap. That's a heel move, John Cena. Your face. You don't do stuff like that. So yeah, CM Punk wins the match via disqualification. Nexus come out and attack John Cena, and then John Cena is just backed into a corner in the ring, and then Jerry Lawler hands him the chair to even things up, and then he proceeds to hit on Nexus with a chair, obviously, not chatting them up or anything. So yeah, that was just a really weak ending in my opinion. You know, Cena, and I really wanted that to be a good match, but they just made a really weak ending. Yeah, and that was it. That was the end of Raw. So you had that crappy ending, and then the end of Raw. You know, it just really didn't do much for me. You know, I kind of fell asleep right after this match. It just sucked. We also had that 2/21/11 promo once again. But the music used in it made it very obvious that it was The Undertaker. It was the music they used for the Shawn Michaels Undertaker promo at WrestleMania, I think, last year. So yeah, that's obvious now. But I mean, overall, Raw, it just it really did my head in. Like there was enough matches there, just the matches weren't very well made, well done. There wasn't enough TV time for Vince McMahon at the start of Raw, and then the end was just a crappy finish. The main event just seemed rushed. You know, didn't have much time left. It just seemed really rushed. And therefore badly done. So overall, my thoughts on Raw this week, you know, it was pretty bad. I didn't really enjoy it. It didn't help that I was half asleep, but it really wasn't that good. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much my opinions on Raw, and it seems to be echoed throughout YouTube as well that Raw wasn't that good. We didn't really see much. There was no title matches. There was nothing really there. There was nothing there for me, to be honest. There was just nothing going on, nothing interesting going on at all. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me with my Raw review. What did you guys think of Raw? You know, please comment in the section below what you thought. You know, if you agree with my views, if you disagree, you might disagree. We all have our own opinions. So yeah, leave in the comment section below. You can also catch me on Twitter. My Twitter is Daniel_Parkin. Also my Tumblr, where I've just put my Raw blog. At Daniel Parkin, and you can also ask us questions on our YouTube page, comment and subscribe, of course. And that is it from me, Daniel Parkin. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.